Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Jolene, and I'm the author of the Glorium Sea series, the Moonrise Beach series, and the new Heartbreaker series. So now that it is the end of the month, I am back to do a review of my currently inked pens for July. So I have my ink journal here. Let's open it up and go to July. So this is where we left off. What I like to do at the beginning of the month is share the pens and inks that I use. So I have that list here, and then I leave this space open so that throughout the month I can make some review notes on the pen and ink pairings. So I have all of my pens here in this little pouch. We are going to go through every single one, and I'll let you know how this month fared, because so far I think, yeah, it was a pretty good month. So let's get started. I have here the first pen, which was the Sailor Shikiori Garland, and I have it here in the fine nib. I inked it up with Sailor Shikiori Mirai, which is a dark green color, and I used it in my passport tan, and I absolutely loved it. It was my first time using this pen. It was a new one, and I just feel like this pen and ink pairing just worked really well. Sometimes I find that the Sailor inks can be a little bit dry in a fine nib, but for whatever reason this worked out really well. I really liked the color of this pale pink with the dark green. So this is how it turned out in my daily journal. I really enjoyed writing in here. The nib was so nice, very crisp, very fine, so I felt like my writing came out quite well. So I just really enjoyed it. It worked really nicely with the collection of stickers that I use from my shop. This one's called Refresh if you're interested, and you guys can use the code SAVE10 to save 10% off of your order. But I just really like the pink and green combo. So yeah, I thought it was a perfect pairing. It made me really fall in love with this ink. I have used this ink before in other Sailor pens, but in this one, I find that it was like a perfect match. So I would definitely try this combination once again in the future. So this pen definitely gets a 5 out of 5 for me. It was one of my favorites that I used this month. So I actually just left it here, and it fits really well in this Passport TN little pen loop. So that was the first one. Next up, let's go with the Kaweco. So this is the Kaweco Al Sport in Vibrant Violet, and I have it here in the medium nib, and I inked it up with Jacques Arbon's Poussière de Lune. I felt like the color, the dark purple, matched it quite nicely. This was actually my first time using this pen and ink. So I did find the pen to be quite smooth. I really like the color of it, but I did have some skipping issues. Now I'm not sure if it's because of the ink or the pen, because like I said, it's my first time using both. But I think the actual color of the Poussière de Lune is really pretty. It's kind of like a dark, kind of like moody purple, and I just thought that it was a stunning color. I did use that in my standard size journal, and I can show you like a spread so you can kind of see how it turned out. This spread had less skipping in it, so I found that it came out a little better, but normally I don't have any skipping issues when it comes to the Kaweco pens, especially the medium nibs. But like I said, for some reason I was having a few skipping issues every now and then when using this pen. But yeah, I think it might be due to the ink actually. So, but yeah, I really liked how this turned out. I used the Le Jardin collection, sticker collection from my shop, and I feel like this purple goes so well with it. It's kind of like a dark purple, and I loved it with this like blue color. So yeah, we went with like a purpley theme for the month, and I just really like how it turned out. So this one, despite the skipping issues that I had with it, I would give this a 4 out of 5. So not bad, but it could have been a little bit better if not for the skipping issues. Okay, so now let's go into another new pen that I got. This is a Sailor Profit Junior in the color Amamoyoi, and I just love the body. I love the silver like trim, and then what's unique about this pen is that it's actually a fude nib. It's a medium fine fude nib. So if you don't know what fude means, it's the one where the nib kind of like bends upwards, so you can kind of use it as like a calligraphy style. So I did use this in my TN, and I used it as like my header. Now I'm not the best, to be honest, at calligraphy, so I kind of struggled a little bit with some of like the writing. I think I just need to practice with it a little bit more, but I used it as my headers here instead of my stamps, because sometimes I found that my stamps were taking up too much room because they are large letters. And sometimes like if I want to write like a full sentence or word or title, it was taking up too much room. So I started using these fude nibs to kind of do something like a little fancy for my header. And yeah, like I said, I just need a little bit more practice with it, but I think it turned out really nice. I did get the matching Yurameku ink. That's what I used to ink it up, and it's quite a unique color. As you guys can see, it's kind of like a gray, green, and pink mix. It's one of those like chroma shading ones. So if you like chroma shading, I would definitely recommend it. This is actually like one of my favorite like green, gray inks. This pen and ink combo has kind of like sparked my interest in chroma shading inks, especially the ones from the Sailor Yurameku line. I want to collect them all. So this one, I love it. Again, a 4 out of 5, but like I said, maybe I just need to practice a little bit more with my calligraphy with this fude nib. But it was definitely fun to try it out. Okay, next up, let's go to my Sailor. So this is a 14 karat gold nib. This is our Sailor Pro Gear Slim and Grateful Crane. I just love this body. Don't you think it's so pretty? This is like my favorite blue. And I have it inked up with Sailor Manyo Haha. Now, I didn't use this color as much, and I think what I will do for next month is actually include it for my currently inked in August so that I can use more of it. But I did kind of set up in my planner here using the ink. It's really difficult to see on camera, but actually in person it's fine for me to read. I think that's part of the reason why some people don't like this ink. But again, it's one of those chroma shading inks that has a little bit of blue, pink, and purple mixed in, and I just thought that the combination with this pen was so stunning. I am just in love with the colors that I chose for the upcoming month, and like I said, I think I'll use this one as my main pen in here for August because I didn't use it as much as I thought I would this month. It's absolutely gorgeous. Despite not using it as much as I had hoped, I'm still giving this a 5 out of 5 because I love it so much. I just think the aesthetic of it is so pretty, and I love this ink. I think I'm gonna buy a full bottle of it because right now I only have a sample. So I think getting the full bottle will just make me use it more. I know some people don't like this ink just because it is light, but actually in person, without flash and like lighting for pictures and stuff like that, it's very legible, so I am a fan of it. Okay, so next up, let's go to my Esterbrook. So this is a new pen that Esterbrook had sent to me. They gifted it to me, and I was able to choose what model I wanted. So I chose the Esterbrook SD, and this is the color Tortoise. I just love the design of it. It looks so pretty. And this is actually my only Esterbrook that I have. I got it in the gold trim with also the fine nib, and I had it inked up with Sailor Mizutama Kohiru. So Mizutama is a Japanese artist that they collaborated with, and that's what I put in here. So with this pen, I thought the pen was absolutely beautiful. I did have issues with bleed through and feathering with the ink though, which is odd because I have used this ink before, and I never really had any feathering issues when I put it in a Sailor pen. This nib is like super juicy, so I guess it made my dry ink a little, well, not a little, very wet, because I can kind of show you. I did do a little writing sample, and actually even here you can kind of see the feathering here. So this is a little journal entry that I wrote when I first got the pen, and even here there is some traces of feathering. It ghosted quite a bit through the opposite page, however I was still able to write on the back of it. So while it's not like a full deal breaker to me, I will be experimenting with other inks in here to see what inks I prefer in the Esterbrook nib, because these are quite juicy nibs. Also, these are quite like long nibs, so I had to get used to that, as I haven't really played around with too many Esterbrooks that have this size nib. It's even like longer than my Platinum 3776, so I did have to hold my pen a little differently, so that was just something that I noticed when I was working with this pen. This one I gave 3 out of 5. So again, it's more of a me problem and me just getting used to using this new model of pen. So I'm gonna definitely ink this up again, especially during the fall, because I feel like these are very fall colors. And I'll try out some different inks. I kind of want to try like a Pilot ink in here, but those I know are quite wet. So yeah, let me know what inks you like to use in your Esterbrook pens, because I would love to know. Okay, and then we're on to the second last one here. This is the TWSBI Eco, and this is the color Saffron. This is my like only yellow pen in my collection. I don't have very many, and this is in the fine nib, and I inked it up with actually a pink color, which is Jacques Herbin's Bouquet de Danton. I enjoyed this combo. I kind of wanted the pink of the ink to pop a little bit more, but it's actually more on a kind of like a rosy blush side rather than like a brighter color, kind of like the Pilot Hana and Kaida or like the Cosmos that I'm used to. So this one is definitely more on the rosy side. So I still really liked it. Sometimes I felt like the colors were a little dull for what I wanted, because I did use it in my reading journal here. So I'm normally like used to like these type of pinks, which are definitely brighter. But as you guys can see here, this pink is just more softer. It's a little bit more like almost like purpley base. It kind of reminds me of Yozakura Sailor, but Yozakura has more purple in it. So this one I enjoyed using, but it wasn't my favorite of the month. So while I did enjoy journaling with this pen and ink combo, it wasn't my favorite. I think maybe next time I will put this in color in a different pen, and maybe save all of my TWSBIs for like shimmering inks. I think maybe I would like the Ferris Wheel Press Radiant Rose Wing in this color pen. So maybe that's something that I'll try in the future. So that one gets a 3.5 out of 5 for me for this month. And then the last pen that I have inked is the Jinhao 10. This is the pink and gold, and I have it here in the fine nib. I had it inked up with Sailor Manyo Kuzu, which is kind of like a dark burgundy ink. Now with this pen, I inked it up with a couple of other inks in the past, and I had both hard starts, skipping issues, and even like drying, like the nib was drying out really quickly, like within a week it was like all gone. So I was getting a little frustrated, but I know a lot of people really like the Jinhaos because they are great dupes for the Pilot Vanishing Point, but I was having a hard time with it. So what I did was I put in an ink, which is the Sailor Kuzu, that I know is quite wet. So this month I was surprised to see that I didn't experience any skipping, no hard starts, no drying out either. So I was pleasantly surprised that this ink works in here. So I think going forward, I am going to continue using wetter inks, like maybe like Pilot or even Sailor in this pen from now on, because I tried Ferris Wheel Press and Roaring Klinger inks in here, and it just wasn't cutting it. So with this particular ink, I would give it a 4 out of 5, because now I can actually understand why other people love it so much. because I didn't have the issues that I was having with those other inks in here. So my recommendation is to put wet inks in these pens. And then I did get some tips about using some silicone grease to use on the nib if you are continuing to have like the nib drying out. But like I said, I used it all month, no problems, which was so crazy. So I am so happy that I finally found a combination that works out for me. So I want to share that in this video in case you are someone that is struggling with the nib dry out on the Jinhao 10s. So now that I have figured out that combination, I think maybe in the future I will try to pick up other colors that I am interested in. So yeah, that is the last of my pens. How many pens did I have inked? Quite a bit. So 7, that's more than I normally do. Normally I do like 4, 5, but I kind of went crazy this month. But yeah, I'm gonna try and like control myself a little bit better for August because I still have some of these inked with a little bit that I want to finish up. So like I said, this one is definitely going to be carried over into next month, but I do have some other pens that I want to ink up. So that will be my next video. So if you're interested in my August currently inked pens, stay tuned. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more fountain pen ink videos from me. I will try to leave a link to these pen and inks if I can find them all down below for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!